Welcome back to KPsKINGDOM, cooking with KP, and today I'm going to show you how to make my spaghetti rooinaise or Bolaroo, however you want to put it. We're going to make up a really nice Aussie inspired Italian dish. Alright, we want a nice big saucepan. I'm going to use a medium sized wok just for a little bit of convenience, and you can see a little bit easier as to what's happening. A little bit of olive oil in there, get a bit of heat happening, of course. Right, we're going to need a stirring utensil of some sort, and here I've got 2 brown onions which I have finely diced, right, nice and fine, and we're just going to add that straight in and get them starting to soften up a little bit. Alright, it's not going to take very long at all, and as I said, we're going to be cooking this sort of slow-ish. We want to develop some really nice flavors. Here we've got 2 large carrots, once again finely diced. Okay, that's going straight in as well. Make sure we get every little bit in there, and sweat those off as well. Okay, and this is probably the most labor intensive part of this dish. I've got 3 sticks of celery, just the celery sticks itself, not the heart, and we're going to add that. So we've basically made a mirepoix, or we're going to make a sofrito with all of these, and it's going to make the base of our sauce. It's going to be some sweetness, some tartness, and of course some onionness to that. So we're just going to cook that off for 5, 6, 7 minutes. It doesn't matter how long. We don't want to burn them, but we do want to start the cooking process going through. I'm going to add in 500 grams worth of kangaroo mince. You can buy that from certain butchers, you can buy it from supermarkets now, and this is really high in iron and protein and very low in fat. So this is actually a very healthy version of the traditional bolognese. We're simply just going to start breaking that up and stir that through and start our cooking process happening. And if you haven't had kangaroo before, wow, it is just got the best flavor. It tastes beefier than beef. As I said, very lean, and it's got a really nice irony type taste to it as well. And if you're going to make anything for me with beef, well, I'll take roux any day over that. So simply just keep breaking that up. It does break up quite easily once you get the cooking process happening, and as you'll see with this, we're not going to end up with an oily type sauce at the end. We're going to end up with a very clean sauce. Right, time for some bush flavors. I'm adding in half a teaspoon's worth of saltbush and half a teaspoon's worth of lemon myrtle. You can get that where you find Australian native spices, and I'm also going to add in 2 teaspoons worth of freshly ground black pepper. Okay, that's going to go in, and it's going to really help lift the flavor of this dish. As I said, just keep working that mince through and keep cooking off those vegetables. It's just a little bit of a labor of love at the moment, but it's not going to take very long at all. Alright, so just keep stirring that through, keep working that meat and the vegetables, and keep cooking those down. And as you can see, that meat is starting to break apart quite easily. Okay, I've just added in 4 cloves of freshly crushed garlic, and I'm going to add in 800 grams worth of tomato passata. I actually just get 2 400 gram cans of crushed tomatoes, put them in my food processor, and you end up with the most natural passata money can buy. Alright, and I'm just going to add in 1.5 cups of red wine. I've just used the tomato can. Why waste what was left in the bottom of that can when we can actually reuse that as a vessel? Okay, and all we have to simply do now, get all of that mixed through just like I'm doing right there, and we're going to make a really nice long cook on this one. I'm doing this one sort of middle of the day before everything else happens in the afternoon, and I can just come through and check it from time to time. Alright, as you can see, we've got some nice rich colouring happening right there. Alright, so I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to turn that right down. I've only got that on 20% power. I can walk away and not have to worry about it too much. Just come in every half an hour or so, give that a bit of a stir, and look at the colour of that. Isn't that beautiful? And the smell already is amazing. We're not quite there yet, but we're almost there. A little bit of salt, right, because we haven't got any salt factor in this at all. I'm adding in around about 1 tablespoon's worth of dried parsley. It's going to give us a little bit of freshness to our dish, and I'm also going to add in 2 tablespoons worth of tomato paste concentrate. I just use these little sachets. It's convenient. You don't end up with wastage and spoilage because you opened a can or a jar 2 months ago and it's gone all moldy. These things are just perfect. Alright, so it's going to put that in. That's going to help thicken and richen our sauce right up. Okay, so a little bit more freshly ground black pepper, and at this point don't be afraid to get a spoon and taste your sauce, and if it needs more pepper, if it needs a bit more salt, just add it. Right, I'm giving you what I made and it suits mine and Mrs. KP's palate perfectly, but you might need a little bit of adjustment. If you're one of those people that like a sweet bolognese type sauce, add a little bit of sugar or a little bit of agave. Right, as you can see, our sauce is starting to really thicken up nicely. I'll put that lid back on, and I'm going to come back again in about another half an hour. Alright, I'm going to add in 1.5 tablespoons worth of dried oregano, and the dried is absolutely fine. We're going to be cooking this off for a little bit longer so that oregano will absorb all those flavors and start releasing all of its flavors pretty shortly. Right, so we're cooking, coming back, stirring, put the lid back on, let it go. Right, our sauce is pretty much done at that point. Right, we've got a nice big saucepan, water, a good dash full of some salt. That's just cooking salt. Right, put that in. We want really nice salty water, and I'm going to be using about 200 grams worth of spaghetti today. I'm going to try and keep something a little bit more traditional. You can use whatever pasta you'd like, but we're going to use in some spaghetti. Right, 280 grams, that goes into that boiling water just like that, and if you add the salt in, it does actually bring up the temperature of the water for brings down the boiling point of the water. Right, we're going to cook that off for only a few minutes as per the instructions on the back of the packet. So if you don't know how to cook pasta, read the instructions on the back, and we're going to take that out just before it is going too mushy. We want a nice bit of firmness to that. Alright, our spaghetti is done. It's in the pot. We've strained that off, and now it's time to start ladling in some sauce. Alright, we're on the home stretch, folks. Alright, as you can see, that sauce has thickened up quite nicely. Right, spoon some of that meat sauce, and there's veggies and onion and garlic and all that other good stuff straight into your spaghetti, just like that. Okay, and the smell in this kitchen at the moment is just out of this world. Give all of that a bit of a stir. Try and get as much of that pasta covered with the meat sauce as you possibly can. Alright, so I'm just going to add in a little bit, give it a bit of a stir, add a little bit, give it a bit of a stir, and as you can see, everyone's got their own version of making bolognese, but hey, making it with kangaroo mince, it's just absolutely amazing. You'll want to do it again and again. Alright, so as I said, we're going to add a little bit of sauce, give it a bit of a stir, try and get all those bits of pasta coated in that beautiful sauce that we've just made, and we've spent a few hours making. Right, time to serve up. We want to give our spaghetti a little bit of a twirl. This is a trick I learnt quite a while ago, and I've just forgotten how to use it. Okay, so we're just going to use a ladle, some forks, and we're going to give a nice little bit of height to our spaghetti, just like that, with some of that meat sauce all included. And this is a really good way to impress your friends and make your spaghetti look really impressive. Alright, so I'm just going to give that a twirl, and I'm going to put 2 little bits on this particular plate. I'm not going to be skimpy. Alright, just going to give that a really nice twirl, put that on the plate, and if you want to add a little bit more sauce at the end, well, you most certainly can. And make sure you drop some of that spaghetti, otherwise you're not doing it correctly. A little bit more sauce over on the side there, it's not going to go astray. Right, How easy was that to do? I'd love to see you try and make this one at home. It is really easy and really healthy. Of course, a little bit of shaved or grated pecorino or parmesan straight over the top, and there you go. You've got KP spaghetti rooinaise or Bolaroo, whatever you want to call it. Alright, once again, love to see you try and make this one at home. It is easy. Thank you so much for watching this video. Really do appreciate it. If you like this video, hit that like button. It gives me confidence to make you feel warm and fuzzy too. Ingredients for this dish will be at the end of the video. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time a new video goes up. And leave a comment. Love reading, love responding to them. And if I haven't already said so, hit that notifications bell. If you want to learn how to Aussify a traditional Mediterranean dish like this, we need to come and join the family. My family, hit that subscribe button and you'll never miss another one of my videos again. I'll have to eat my spaghetti rooinaise or Bolaroo, whatever we're calling it, and I will catch you next time. Bye.